Oh, Twitch TV in the news. Ho ho. This video is a little bit of commentary, a little bit of that virus investigations, and a little bit of that let's just talk about Twitch TV. Now, I have a viewpoint on Twitch. You know, I think while it's a very, very good website when it comes to its live streaming technologies, the actual enforcement of rules on Twitch are quite a joke. Quite a joke indeed. Now, I want to ease you into the video. It's not as dark as it's really made out to be, but I'm going to ease you in, and we're going to start off with something pretty hilarious. Now, a Twitch viewer from California actually is suing Twitch in civil courts for $25 million. Now, you may be wondering, why? Well, it's because of overly suggestive content from various female streamers. Now, I just want to remind the audience over here, okay, there's plenty of female streamers on Twitch. This person follows every single one of them pretty much, except for the male streamers, which I think is a little offensive, but I'm going to read you an excerpt. Okay, the plaintiff has been a Twitch Prime and Turbo subscriber. He suffers from depression, OCD, panic disorder, agoraphobia, and Crohn's disease, and because of these malady... God, they didn't write this enough. They could not have written this in an actual legal document, please. He relies on the internet for all of his entertainment purposes, as many others do during this difficult time, and due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many people have to stay home for entertainment and are quarantining themselves, including the particularly vulnerable think of the children. As for the plaintiff, he only leaves the house for Inflectra infusions, having to deal with Crohn's disease. Otherwise, he's on the computer constantly, suffers from addiction due to his OCD that makes him obsessed with touching himself, I guess. Twitch has extremely exacerbated his condition by displaying many suggestive women streamers. Yeah, I don't think this... I know this lawsuit ain't gonna make it, dog. Yeah, your lawsuit needs a legal court, man. Be careful. The fact that they included photos of various streamers like Alinity and Pokimane just to show the courts how damning and how uncontrollable this person was. The fact that this is going to be used as an exhibit in a courtroom makes me almost die inside. The plaintiff respectfully prays for a judgment against defendant for injunctive and immediate cancellation and permanent ban of the female streamers. Some of them are like the top streamers on the platform. $25 million in punitive damages. Now, I just want to understand, okay, how much money are you really donating for you to equate $25 million in punitive damages? That's a little big stupid. Now, of course, all those jokes aside, ladies and gents, you know, now that we've lightened the mood, now that we had a little goof and a laugh and fun, let's get to the corruption of Twitch. Now, years ago, 5 years ago, there were actually posts being made on the Twitch Reddit all about individuals discussing the rules of conduct, inconsistencies in how they're enforced, and potential dangers that this entails. So they've spoken to broadcasters large and small who've had their run-ins with Twitch admin staff, spoken to several members of the Twitch community that would have knowledge of how rule breaking is handled by Twitch. I'm not going to name the people I've spoken to. I'm sorry, I know it hurts my credibility, but this argument is going to imply that there is room for abuse within the system as it is now. I'd rather not have any potential abuse aimed at those who have freely spoken with me. Now, this is in regards to a lot of administrators at the time working on Twitch that basically handled each of these cancellations case by case. And I've said it for years that when it comes to Twitch, the friends you have on the moderation and staff team can pretty much dictate how good of a time you're going to have on this website anyways. So it's not something that's uncommon, okay? 5 years ago, I would definitely say this would have been for sure the case, especially in 2015 Twitch. But to understand for a second, even if that was the case, this is slightly just over a year after Twitch was purchased by Amazon. Now, to understand, Amazon is one of the biggest tech firms, one of the biggest firms in the world. You think as soon as they come in, they'd probably promptly deal with Twitch in a very professional manner, turning it more into like YouTube levels of moderation where, yeah, it's kind of bad, but at least it's mostly, if not fair for everyone. You know, everyone sort of gets treated the same. Sure, there might be preferential treatment, but when it comes to enforcement of TOS, usually you see a much more equal system across the board. Whereas with Twitch, it pretty much just comes down to who you're really friends with. That never happened, okay? Twitch so far as Amazon's considered, is just a place for you to plug your Twitch Prime subscriptions and hand out loot, and that's pretty much all that it is. Very recently, XQC, which is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, was actually banned because he showed and I repeat, for maybe 2 seconds, maybe even not that, of gorillas having relationships. Now, I'm just going to say that that is very explicit content, and while he showed it as an accidental, slip into his content, he actually got a 24-hour ban. Now, he made a Twitter response to this called "Ban for 24 hours. Showed a gorilla supposedly for about a second by accident. Nothing to see here. Move along. Enjoy your day." Now, of course, in XQC's all-cap responses, a little confused, considering the nature of the video, length, and in reality, if it's an actual concern, if there's actually any damage done. No one thought anything of it. It was even in a meme format. I won't fight it. TOS and animals is a very nebulous TOS. Who knows? LOL. Now, of course, I doubt XQC cared too much. It was a 24-hour ban. I'm pretty sure he chalked that shit up as a what do they call it? A day off. But Pokimane, who, by the way, I respect all these creators. I have no ill will. Pokimane actually did evade a ban, pretty much. She got a warning when she showed NSFW content for again, an accidental amount of time. She didn't know that she was showing anything, but she still did. This was memed on for a couple days, but she did actually escape a ban. She wasn't banned. She was given a warning. But the reality of it is this shows the standards that Twitch has and how they're not enforced equally. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl or you're a big streamer or a smaller streamer. I think most people are too focused on that. It's really just down to how the moderation team feels that day, which is not okay. There are some admins, there are some people who enforce this TOS appropriately and some who are just like, maybe they favor a creator, maybe there's something behind the scenes, maybe there's some corruption, but they just end up not enforcing it. So XQC gets a 24-hour ban, Pokimane gets a fucking warning. How does that make any sense? I don't know. If anything, if you were to enforce TOS, it should be treated equally across the board. Now, what makes me really make this video is Twitch actually has been going through a fair bit of allegations. Allegations to the point where they're just banning, they're culling people in their roster. Whoever has any allegation levied against them, right? I'm pretty sure they're doing their case investigations on it, but people are just getting banned left and right. There's a big culling happening on Twitch. Now, here's basically a one of these Me Too letters that have come out by an individual by the name of Vio, who basically accused one of Twitch's staff members, Hassan Bakari, who, if you don't know who he is, he works in the partner section of Twitch. This is somebody that is a staff member, somebody that has close direct ties with Twitch TV. And I'm not going to go over the allegations regarding his sexual misconduct. I'm actually going to go into something that I find a little freaky. So I'm going to read this to you. Bear with me. Now, this phrase, what we're about to read is in context to a situation where she was discussing changing her channel branding, maybe becoming a partner at some point, quote unquote. But here she says, "He later that night links me a form. The form was meant for partners as a Christmas gift to them. It included lots of special things such as the purple Twitch hoodie. I was shocked, especially since I wasn't even a partner. I mentioned that, to which he replied, 'Don't worry, I have a feeling you'll be a partner soon.' Oh, I wonder how. Again, I replied in shock, and he let me know that he'll have a team look into my account. The next thing I know, I get a text message, and it's from him. He used the form to get my number, and I even called him out on it, which he casually played off." Okay, what? All right, are we just going to ignore that that was a thing that just sort of happened? Now, again, these are strictly allegations. I'm not saying that this is truth or anything, but if this was true, again, if this was true, that's seriously a breach of privacy laws within Twitch, which is also, might I remind you, owned by Amazon. Now, think about it. You have a big tech firm that's taking your personally identifiable information, so your first name, your last name, your address, and all of the good stuff, maybe even your cell phone number. And they have that stored. And a lot of these admins, I believe, may have access to key parts of that information. Not all, obviously, but enough to at least use it to get somebody's phone number for them to use in a completely inappropriate manner, might I add. Now, that all being said, imagine, just from a partner perspective, people who are getting paid by Twitch, not only are you giving them the information that you already have, but you're also giving them your billing information, bank account information, maybe a social insurance. I'm not sure about the social insurance number, but as far as I know, I get a couple payouts from Twitch every year, even though I don't stream there at all. Enough people watch the content to make a payout for me. But the reality of it is, Even with all that said, Twitch has to keep an up-to-date record of me, file W-8 foreign contractor tax forms, so I have to keep my information up to date at Twitch. And I didn't know this until I was talking to a fellow creator, Creepshow Art, and I realized, you know, you're not kidding. They might actually have the information, and who knows who's swimming through the information at Twitch. Given if this allegation is to be true, that means the information that Twitch has may not be safe. And I mean, this lines well into the virus investigations content I make. You never know how your data is being used. You always got to be paranoid about it, because now it's to a point where you can't even trust smaller, you know, websites or anything of the sort, right? Small upstarts. You can't even trust sites owned by Amazon just because they have people working there that allegedly could be mishandling your data and using it for very, you know, inappropriate reasons. Now, again, this is just an allegation. I'm not saying that this is true at all. I'm just saying that if we're to believe this to be true, then our data is being used improperly. Now, to sort of include a bit of normalcy into the sandwich of corruption that I want to talk about, we have to look at the Twitch moderation or the safety staff that just recently came into effect. And this was a situation where Twitch will constantly stand by really, really dumb decisions. I don't know why, I don't know what's up, but sometimes they'll do it. If you remember Ferociously Steph at the time, who a lot of people jokingly refer to as Deer Girl, just because, you know, of I believe her being like a deerkin or believing she is a deer. It is what it is. That's their personal choice. But this individual made a bunch of weird comments that I sort of laughed at. But these are comments that people shouldn't be making if they have an ounce of professionalism.
But I'm hanging in there, and I'm not going anywhere. I have power. They can't take it away from me. And honestly, you know, There are some people that should be afraid of me, and that they are, because I represent moderation and diversity.
And with all of that said, she made certain points where she was very, very clear in telling people that, hey, she's got the power to ban or something of the sort, and you should fear that individual. Now, if you're in a professional environment, and I believe she wasn't a staff member, but I mean, she clearly had some clout at Twitch to have some of these privileges, why they didn't step in and immediately offer. See, this is a good example of why they're not professional. Despite them being a big multi-billion-dollar company, they refuse to act professional when it comes to very basic things such as who they hire for their teams, how they deal with their teams, how they deal with creators, versus YouTube or even now defunct Mixer or Facebook Gaming. A lot of their actual enforcement of their TOS is handled very fairly amongst all partners. You could be the biggest partner or the smallest partner. They will do with you the same that they would to another individual. I know this for a fact. Now, when I was on YouTube, there were 2 times in my entire YouTube career that I streamed, nudity by mistake. And doing that, YouTube had issued a strike on my channel. These strikes last for 6 months, 3 to 6 months, and I totally accept them because I messed up. But the thing is, there are other creators you can talk to on YouTube Gaming that will do the same thing. And because YouTube's system is very moderated through machine learning, they'll also get a community guideline strike. It's that system that I would like to see better used on Twitch, because when you're dealing with live streaming content, yeah, sometimes you slip accidental stuff up there, but that's also the streamer's responsibility. You know, you can have a scene to sort of block out content for a second before you switch, you know, so on and so forth. There's a million ways you can handle this. And I just like to see Twitch enforcing it in an appropriate manner. Now, this brings me to the last point, which is an evolving point. Now, right now, Dr. Disrespect, who is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, in fact, I believe he had a Twitch exclusivity deal, is currently banned lifetime, to a point where even the people who subscribed to him for that month are now getting refunds, showing you for sure Dr. Disrespect is never coming back. In fact, I believe he is completely indefinitely banned. Now, whatever he's banned for, given right now with Twitch, and especially with them going on a ban spree regarding anybody with sexual allegations against them, it doesn't exactly look good. So far as I know, they have not banned him for DMCA abuses. So whatever it is, it's obviously very serious for him to be getting a lifetime ban. I'm not going to speculate on it. I'm pretty sure by the time this video uploads, there's probably going to be an explanation, which if there is, I may not append the video depending on how I edit this, how I upload it, call it a day. But again, Twitch is culling itself, right? And I want the audience to know that I'm okay with that. If they're getting rid of true toxicity on the platform or people that may be doing things very illegal behind the scenes, I'm okay with Twitch policing themselves. Of course, as long as they police themselves appropriately. And not just police themselves, but Twitch has to police its internal staff. Because like I said earlier, there are allegations that contain elements of staff members acting very inappropriately regarding data for Twitch users. Or Amazon users at this point, and that needs to be really looked into. For a site that has millions upon millions of users' personally identifiable information, it needs to be assessed. Twitch has a problem with not just sexual assault allegations right now, Twitch has a problem with integrity of data handling behind closed doors. Twitch has a problem with who they let on their staff and how they choose to use their power on the staff against other common users. Twitch has a problem with enforcing rules appropriately to each and every community member they have. That's the problem that Twitch TV faces. Even for the worse, it'll probably end up still being the dominant live stream website. And that is an issue. You know, you have a lot of Twitch users who I've talked to who literally use this website because it's the only way they can start and build up a community in live streaming. And the problem is, I wish if that was the case, this website should be the premier leader of how to handle live streaming, not just in the technology department, but also in its moderation department. It seems as though every other live streaming service is better handled in terms of that. And honestly, Twitch needs to stand up. Twitch needs to make some changes internally, because so far the corruption and issues at Twitch are leaking out day by day, and this has been an issue that's been growing again for over 5 years. So, you know, we'll see how it ends. We'll see how the story concludes. But ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mudahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.